they'll pick the body first. The only person that I know that never did that was Stephen Hawkins, and that's why he's literally almost a brain sitting there. He should have died years ago. But he was smart enough to realize, I'll never have a body, I have ALS, I'll pick my brain. And he chose to continue to develop the brain and let the body go. And he's probably the only human being that can exist in such a, you know what I mean? Now, if you,
state, yeah.
whatever, if you look at, now, if a baby was born that way, guaranteed special needs. He was already cognitively functioning, already had this movement vocabulary, wasn't diagnosed till he's 21. But he should have been dead by 31. But if you actually look at his body on a file, he should have been dead years ago. Maybe he forgot to die and he just keep going, you know? But that's a difference. He's an exceptional human being. But if someone has a stroke, if someone has a whatever, just get my hand to work. Well, you can do so much more. Get my hand to work. They really start to, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the
I
body
have
of
lots
it,
of
yeah.
things wrong with me. I integrate. So, just remember that. But for our kids, they're going after function. All of our kids, what's the first thing? I want to play cricket. I want to run. Okay? Now again, this is where you're going to need a bit more cooperation, that kind of thing. I'm going to do it for both sides so you can see it on the camera. But now I can ask her right now to put her knee onto the table. Okay, maybe Linda? No. Can you do that with your outfit?
This is, right?
Right. Okay. Right? So now see how that was a lift for her? Did that make sense? Right? So bring it back down. Now I'm going to be here on the tush, on the iliac crest, however you want to see. You know, you don't want to be too far forward where the system's going to bend like this, but you want to support. Now, we can modify it for someone that's got different needs. But what I'm going to do here now is I'm going a little bit, rotate onto her left foot, and I'll rotate back. Rotate a little bit, so I'm checking to see what her pelvic rotation is like. Okay? Now, pretend you have AFOs on. Feel the difference. See how the top heavy? You see that? So these are considerations. I just want you to start adding in your mind when you go to work on somebody. Don't think they can't do a movement. Think of what's affecting them possibly that is making the movement different, especially when you don't feel the rotation. So take the AFOs off, and now slowly I'm going to start to rotate the knee. Now see how top heavy she is.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take the chair because that's what I figured you'd be a good one. I'm going to come here for a second and just feel that shift.
Do the last rotation.
Yeah, I'm doing it. So see, the movements start to happen. Do you see how right here she's telling me a whole bunch about herself versus just shoving her knee up on the table? Now see how she's lifting. So now with this, I'm going to get underneath her foot, just to rotate. Okay, and now, that's for the Pelvis. See the difference?
Yeah.
So now she's not going to go any further because her arms are in the way. So again, whatever's in her system, she's not protecting herself. She hasn't learned. Now she could be saying, lady, I just am doing what you told me to do. But I can ask her to move her hands and see in different positions. And no. That's going to get you up.
Yeah, right.
And that's going to get you. No. Leg. Stand, twist back on. So now bring your knee up. And now, feel the difference? Now she got it real quick. You might have to stay with someone for a couple weeks even.
Yeah.
But now feel the, do you see that rotation of the knee? So now just put AFOs on and lift your knee up. See the difference? See the difference? See the difference? Here, do you see where she's going with this? How, now I've got to go.
Yeah.
It is hard.
No, but it would hurt, yeah.
Right, so just take the AFOs
Just
off.
pretending.
I don't mean to keep picking on AFOs, but you guys are in situations that you've got your children in, or you're around children that are in. I just want you to appreciate movement. Here, put high heels on. Go on high heels, dress up, dress up, dress up, okay? Now put your knee up on the table. Okay, see, there's no rotation. She's totally adjusted her system. Come back down. So now hold your breath and put your knee up on the table. Okay? So now hold your breath and grunt, put your knee up on the table. See, even more that's a, now hold the jaw long. And put your knee up on the table. See how much slower her system is, just based off the jaw hang. Now, do the other knee. Do this knee, okay, do it. Okay? So see now the presentation, now do the other knee. She didn't even know to put her hands down. No, I'm just, okay? Yeah. Whee. Okay, this knee. Stand, move the hands, this the other knee. That's it. Stand, move the hands. That's it. That's it. Does that help you with some of the people or situations you're working with? But you see, but also, especially like with Deb and stuff, or with the AFOs, how since that's so difficult, that's mainly what you kind of have to do with the kids to get them to sit down, and that's what you're used to, and then sitting them like this. Because going to the knees, especially with the AFOs, and the shoes are bigger and all this, it's so much heavier. So to crawl up on the table, it's almost better to do this and then plop them off. But what they're losing is that ability to transfer, and that's going to get more difficult as they get bigger.
If there is no pelvic control and you want to get into kneeling, then that's going to be really difficult to do that.
It's not going to be difficult, it's going to be different. Feel the table. Now if they have no pelvic control, that's where I would have done the lesson we did before of just feeling that leg lift. If you can't get the leg to lift on the table like that, maybe this isn't the conversation you want to have. But if all of a sudden the one leg's lifting, that's the leg you're going to do. Like, so if everyone practice on this leg, stick with this leg, because this side of the pelvis might already know the movement. But use the table, use the weights, and just this is huge. Do you feel how already that she's getting used to using her pelvis? I'm right in there. And that might be the lesson. And maybe that lesson is now look to the right. Look to the right. Look to the right. And look to the left. And look now, I'm doing all this with the pelvis against the table. Maybe there the pelvis is coming away. And maybe the pelvis is going in. She's learning how to roll against the surface. And then at this point, after I've gotten a nice rotation from here to the feet, now feel. So you ready the difference? Do you feel the difference? How even your balance is a little bit better? You know? Or what's worse, I could be going like this with you. You know? Does this look more familiar where you're trying to get your kid up in the bed? But if I sit there, I don't mean to pick on you like that and be over dramatic, but if I sit here like this, even if I'm doing my, you know, I can get in here pretty deep, or I can go down like this and show that rotation. But again, that's more advanced, but